A warm welcome to all the Pisces rising signs of the zodiac to your June astrology outlook. I'm Cosmic Girl 101. Trust you're doing well and thank you for being here. Well, the month of June astrologically is really quite good. We've got a few challenging days, but all in all, the astrology is good. As above, so below. We'll take it when the planets are happy. So there's a lot of astrological information coming towards you in this month's video. And we're going to open up the video talking about your chart ruler Jupiter. So when you're listening to the astrology for the month of June, there is a lot going on, of course, at any given time, Pisces rising sign, but your focus primarily should be on your chart ruler Jupiter. So whenever you hear the word Jupiter, whatever day I'm talking about astrologically, that's when you have your ears tweaked, because there's something that's going on that's really near and dear to your heart, because Jupiter is your avatar in this incarnation. And when Jupiter, your chart ruler, is having a direct aspect from another planet, meaning a conversation with another planet, then that's going to be significant for you to take note of. Okay, so let's talk about your chart ruler before we get into all of the astrology for the month of June. Well, your chart ruler this month, Jupiter, is leaving the natal fourth house of Gemini, where it's been in detriment for over a year. Your chart ruler, Jupiter, transits a zodiac sign for a year and change. And so your chart ruler has been in that fourth house, that natal fourth house. So your natal fourth house is home, family, sleep and rest, real estate, parents, parenting. So that fourth house is where your chart ruler has been for a year and a bit. And this month is shifting out of that natal fourth house and into the natal fifth house. And that's a big shift and change for you, because when your guy leaves a zodiac sign and ingresses into another zodiac sign, well, that's foretelling of there's a whole year, this part of your natal chart, which is the fifth house, becomes prominent for you as a Pisces rising sign. So we're going to get into the details about that transit, but opening up the month of June, you're winding up, if you will, all the busyness of that fourth house of home and real estate, property, family, where things have got really possibly bigger, lots of changes going on there behind closed doors. And now your chart ruler is shifting into the natal fifth house, where things become a little bit more focused for you, out of the home and out of the family environment, and more towards the natal fifth house, which we'll talk about. So that primarily is your focus as a Pisces rising sign when you're listening to astrology. Know where your chart ruler is, what zodiac sign is in, what dignity is in, what shape is he in, and how that is going to give you a lay of the land of the next year and change when Jupiter shifts this month into your natal fifth house of Cancer. All right, so keeping that in your back pocket, you're winding things up, if you will. There's lots of settling down going on in the home, within the family, real estate and property, things that you do in private are sort of coming to some sort of peaceful resolution or conclusion. Things are quietening down there. Okay, on the 6th of June, Venus ingresses into Taurus, your natal third house, to July 4. So just under 4 weeks, Venus will be zooming through your natal third house. So you have lots of doors opening in your community, in your local environment, when Venus is well positioned in domicile in Taurus, where your services are available. You can learn more, you can travel more, you can hang with your extended family members a lot more than you may have been when Venus is in your natal third house of travel, siblings, and education. So this bodes really well for committing to a short course, having plans to take some day trips, hang with your siblings. This would be the transit where things just come together nice with plans, especially within your local community. Enjoy that from the 6th of June to July 4, when Venus is ingressing into Taurus, into your natal third house. On the 8th of June, Mercury conjuncts your chart ruler Jupiter. This is information day, conversation day, so expect a lot of back and forward going on the 8th of June. You'll be quite active mentally and verbally. After Mercury conjunction chart ruler Jupiter, giving you some intel. Mercury then ingresses into Cancer, your natal fifth house, to the 26th of June. A really quick transit for Mercury. Okay, so when Mercury is in your natal fifth house, there's a lot of movement going on here, verbally and physically. So there's lots of movement and change going on with children, romantic partners, sex, pregnancy, and artistic endeavors. They all become really quite active. So think of what gets your adrenaline pumping, what's near and dear to your heart. When Mercury comes into that natal fifth house, then we're talking about what's near and dear to our heart, and we're moving towards what is near and dear to our heart. So expect a busy transit from the 8th of June to the 26th of June when Mercury is zooming through your natal fifth house of fun. On the 9th, Jupiter, your chart ruler, now ingresses into the natal fifth house of Cancer to June 30, 2026. Really long transit. Jupiter's exalted in Cancer functions very well in this zodiac sign. It bodes well for romantic partnerships in your life, children if applicable, pregnancy, sex, and artistic endeavors to get a serious upgrade. So things that you hold near and dear to your heart are going very well. Happy days. That means you get to enjoy the fruits of their experience. Enjoy Jupiter exalted in Cancer in your natal fifth house on the 9th of June to June 30, 2026. You're going to have a lot of fun. People around you are having a lot of fun. Everyone wins with this transit. We also have on the 9th of June retrograde Pluto squaring off with Venus and Mercury squaring off with Saturn and Neptune. Oh, the 9th of June, I'd put my weather hat on, my raincoat on, and get my umbrella out. It's that sort of day where you could just be feeling very torn, lots of activity and action going on, lots of push-pull energy. With retrograde Pluto going off with Venus, this is really difficult to get out of bed and commit to something day. And it's also very hard to communicate about what you passionately want to do, but what's the cost of it. So it's a very, for better words, bipolar day on the 9th of June. But the most fortuitous thing to keep in your back pocket for you as a Pisces rising sign is that your chart ruler Jupiter is in that natal fifth house where you are benefiting from enjoying your life. Happy days. Okay, Pisces rising, you've got a really nice full moon happening in your 10th house on the 11th of June. It's at 20 degrees. It's a Sagittarius full moon. Really, really, really nice full moon for you. It's happening in the natal 10th house, right at the top of your chart. So this is a almost official public ending or completion that's going on here for you on the 11th. So this can be winding up a career or professional path. You may be hitting a personal achievement in the public, wrapping up something official on the 11th of June. Looks good for sealing the deal, cashing in on an emotional investment, that you've been engaged with for a very long time. It's like your moment in the spotlight, or you tie something up with a nice red bow of an official nature. Beautiful full moon on the 11th of June. The 13th to the 16th, these are 3 days of the month that can be quite deep breaths, because Uranus, the planet of agitation, is squaring off with Mars, the planet of action. So we think agitation and action, and they're in a square aspect where it's really difficult to make some sort of move. These 3 days of the month can be quite jarring. What I think is happening here for you, though, as a Pisces rising sign, is plans not coming together. So you plan to go on an outing or start a course or hook up with your mate, but then you get a flat tire, the phone runs out of battery, there's a car accident. It's that sort of day where you know what you're doing, but life takes over between the 13th and 16th of June. So these are deep breath days where things may not organically come together as planned. The 17th, we see Mars ingress into Virgo, your natal seventh house, to the 6th of August. So this is an angular part of your natal chart, Pisces rising sign. So this is an important transit for you when Mars, the planet of action and passion, is zooming through your relationships house. Really, really interesting transit for you. What I like about this transit, Mars passionately pursues what he wants. So relationships in your life could be really stepping it up, and you really see any partnership of any nature in your life really going for their heart's desire with this transit. There could be a lot of passionate moments between you and your intimate relationships. So you might really start stepping up the action in the bedroom with this transit. And it's also a really good transit for getting down to brass tacks, getting the relationship that you're engaged with of any nature both on the same page. So where are you guys heading? This will be the transit to talk about it and nut it out with Mars and Virgo from the 17th of June to the 6th of August. But expect a lot of action with your relationships and partnerships of any nature. It's sort of like go, go, go time, but really good for intimacy. On the 21st, the Sun ingresses into your natal fifth house, joining your chart ruler Jupiter and Mercury. But the Sun will be here for 4 weeks only, from the 21st of June to the 22nd of July. So this looks like balancing work and play transit. So there might be a lot of fun and spiciness going on in your pleasure zone, your natal fifth house, but you've also got to go to work. So it just feels like a bit of a balancing act you'll be trying to adopt for 4 weeks when the Sun ingresses into your natal fifth house from the 21st of June to the 22nd of July. We're not suggesting, Pisces rising, that you have to ignore enjoying your life, but there's also the daily grind that we've got to commit to. So this is about balance. On the 24th, the Sun conjuncts Jupiter, the most optimistic day astrologically with this alignment. When the Sun conjuncts Jupiter, happens once a year, but this one's particularly auspicious because Jupiter is exalted in Cancer and the Sun is conjuncting the exalted Jupiter in Cancer in your natal fifth house. Fantastic for making any relationship in your life official or going that step further with a commitment. It's fabulous for children having a win, awesome for pregnancy, and especially good for planting roots down to start something artistic or creative for yourself on the 24th of June. This is a day where everything comes up roses. Enjoy it. The 25th, we have a new moon in Cancer in your natal fifth house at 4 degrees. So a new beginning. So you're planting new emotional seeds that you're happy to commit to that gets your adrenaline pumping, whether it's a pregnancy, a relationship, a child, start something new, or you really start injecting a lot of energy into that artistic pursuit. This is where on the 25th of June, you're all in. And it opens up doors for cementing something emotionally that really ticks your boxes. Beautiful new moon on the 25th of June for you. On the 26th, Mercury leaves your natal fifth house of Cancer and ingresses into Leo in your sixth house to the 2nd of September. This is a really good transit for you, Pisces rising sign, especially when it comes to marketing yourself with a new work environment, traveling for work. It's also really good for putting any services that you provide out there to the public. It's time to market yourself, promote yourself with this transit. If you've been playing it cool, this would be the time to get it out there so people can see what you bring to the table. It's fantastic for looking at your daily checking out checking account? What expenses are going in and out of your daily bank account? Where can you crunch numbers and get things streamlined? Really good for that as well when Mercury is in Leo in your natal sixth house from the 26th of June to September the 2nd. What I do like about Mercury in Leo, this combination with Mercury in this zodiac sign, is that everyone's speaking from the heart. And we're certainly focused on putting our best foot forward. So it's great for showing up, putting ourselves out there, and standing on our own soapbox. But it's in your natal sixth house of work and service. So get cracking. If you've been dropping the ball and you haven't been, that confident, if you will, to uh, apply to a high-end company or promote your work, this will be the transit to do it, where you feel a lot more confident and you get well received and get some really positive responses with Mercury and Leo from the 26th of June to the 2nd of September. Enjoy it. Moving on to the 29th and 30th. So the last 2 days of the month, we've got Mercury opposed to retrograde Pluto. Yeah, this can just feel like someone's moving the goalposts on you with well-laid plans. So watch out for curveballs in the last 2 days of June when it comes to anything you engage with services or your work. Can feel like, all these well-laid plans and you know where you're going goes in a different direction. So deep breaths. We all go through change, but the June 29 to 30th can be the days where we're like, how irritating. We all thought something was said and done, but then a service or something in your workspace has a different idea, and it can be very irritating in the last 2 days of June. We're all going through this opposition, Pisces rising. That's your astrology for the month of June. I trust you have yourself a wonderful month. Your chart ruler Jupiter is exalted now in Cancer for a year in change. Enjoy it. What emotionally ticks your boxes will be your focus, and so it should be. Your chart ruler Jupiter's out of that fourth house of Gemini, where it's been in detriment for over a year, and now the dignity of your chart ruler Jupiter increases exponentially and bodes well for enjoyment to be more accessible and flowy. Until next time, Pisces rising, have a good month and stay cosmic.